Yeah, about that for an intro. What do you think?
That was a good intro.
That's a great
Did you do that?
I did. I had a bit of help.
Right. Well, can I just ask, though, what Rolf Harris is doing in it?
Well, you say I look like Rolf Harris. Yeah, thanks for that. Just pick a pedo, why don't you? But, you know, who do you look like?
Well, that's a question, isn't it? And I think that's what we should put out to them and just say, because it doesn't...
You don't look like any... You just look... You've got no... You know, you don't look like anyone, do you?
Not really.
And I mean, your face was the most spotted face at Blackpool last week. It was on beer mats. It was on air fresheners.
Oh, don't start with that.
Badges.
Don't start with that.
Anyway.
That was terrible. I hated that. We'll talk about that later. I don't even know. Apparently you got in trouble for that. You know, the organisers for putting stuff everywhere. But yeah, send us a message for who you think I look like in that, because I don't think it looks like me. It looks a little bit like me. Yeah. It looks like a younger, better looking version of me, I would say. Oh,
Graham. Yeah, it's true. So welcome to the Stella Magicbox weekly magazine.
This is quite cosy, yeah, isn't it?
It is cosy. So we're going to be doing a weekly show. But first, before we get into that, right, very quickly, Stella Magicbox. What is it? Who are we? What's going on? Tell everybody.
Me? Okay, so Stella Magic is, ready for it? Stella Magicbox is Stella Magic and Magicbox coming together as one.
Yes.
Converging together, mixing together.
Yes. And we're
getting close.
Yes. And we're going to be bringing lots of new effects.
Mm-hmm.
Graham gets sent a lot of stuff that he just doesn't have time to work on. So that's where I'm going to come in, as well as my own original releases and creations and stuff like that. We've been talking about this for ages, haven't we, mate?
We have.
We're just going to do it.
Yeah, we just think that there's definitely something we can collaborate together with. I run, obviously, the shop and doing other things as well outside of the shop. And I struggle to find the time to develop new effects. And we do get sent new effects. Wouldn't say massively regularly, but sometimes we get sent some ideas.
But if you have got something we might be interested in.
Yeah, and what Chris is really good and what he brings to the table, I'm sure everybody will agree, is he's really great at looking at effect and taking it and elevating it to a different level, or changing the routine or the pattern, making it just, making it making it a better trick.
And it's just, finding things and looking for what's going to work well for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's why we've come together, and hopefully everybody's going to get on board with that. And we thought, what a great way of sort of letting everybody know what we're about is having a show. I know there's a lot of shows out there. This one, hopefully, is going to be a little bit different. But we're going to tell you now what's going to be in each show, and then we're going to do. This is like an introductory show. We'll talk a little bit about Blackpool, but basically each week we're going to start off with a news section.
Mm-hmm.
Anything going on in the magic world, conventions and stuff like this, right? Then we're going to go for old school, which I think is a great idea, and this hammered it home to me, talking about Blackpool. Richard Sanders was at Blackpool last weekend. One of my favourite magicians. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And a lot of the stuff that he released 20 years ago with his Richard Sanders show and stuff, it's a whole new audience. They haven't seen a lot of this stuff before.
Yeah.
There's so much material out there that people haven't seen before. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of that and bringing it back, and hopefully people will get to see stuff.
Yeah, some gems that have been missed.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily missed stuff that was big 20 years ago that people go, well, yeah, whatever happened to that?
So,
what a great trick, and people haven't even seen it.
There's no people coming into magic all the time, right? There's a guy at my stand, he'd been into magic since last August, right? So he was like a kid in a sweet shop walking around Blackpool. Yeah. But it's all the new stuff. So we're going to look at some of the old stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that each week, and then we'll be doing...
Over to you.
Any questions that you might have? Anything that you want to feed back to us about the show from the week before? Anything you want to chat about, and all the rest of it? We're up for anything within reason.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've already got a few questions that have been sent over social media, which we'll get to later on.
Whether it's questions about products, whether it's questions about the shop performing. We both are full-time pros. We both perform various different things, whether it be close-up, kids shows, family shows, stage shows, whatever it might be. So any questions about that as well.
And then we'll be doing some reviews of brand new stuff as well.
Yeah.
You've got to do a review, and or two.
Got to.
But hopefully this will be with our experience. We've both been in magic for over 30 years each. Never mind between us. So hopefully with our experience, we're going to guide you to some top-notch material.
Yeah.
So that's it. So let's get off with our first section, which is the news. So here is the news.
The news. Here we are. It's news time. It's news time.
Well, there's not much news really, other than it was Blackpool last week.
Yeah, Blackpool week.
And we just thought we'd sort of have a little chat about that, really. And, you know, how was it for you? How was it? It was a busy weekend.
Yeah, it's madness. So it's now over. If you haven't been to Blackpool before, it used to be 3 days. Well, back in the day, it used to be 2 days. Then it was 3. Now it's 4. So next year it's going to be 5, and by 2028, it's going to be 2 weeks. That's what they reckon. I mean, let's be honest. 4 nights in Blackpool is more than enough, right? Isn't it?
I mean, it's hard from a dealer's perspective. It's hard work, isn't it? But even talking to some of my friends who aren't dealers, who were just there, you know, attending the convention, they all loved it. Yeah. And by the way, the organisers did a terrific job.
I would say that. I would agree with that. An amazing job.
It was so well organised. A lot of the lecturers were on twice, so if you couldn't catch them the first time, you could see them the second time. You know, everything was really well organised and stuff. But by day 4, some of those guys,
and you were saying about Chris Strickland, weren't you?
Chris Strickland, yeah. I mean, you can tell things have gone well, because normally Chris Strickland, he's looking like he's the dealer officer, and he's running around by sort of Saturday or Sunday afternoon looking all haggard and defeated and shattered. And this year he was walking around with a big smile on his face. He almost had a cigar on the go, didn't he? So it's just gone so well, you know, which is great.
I thought the organising was top notch, really, really good. They really have took it up another level.
Oh, absolutely.
The shows, the organisation, I would say everything about it was really good. I mean, but for me, the best thing about Blackpool is the M6 on the way home on the Sunday. No. There's so many good things about Blackpool, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a second. It is a long 4 days for us. It's only just took me now to get over it. It takes me a good week. I mean, I've been going to Blackpool 31 years, I think I worked it out. Yeah. So I first went in 95 when it was only literally 2 days. It was the Saturday and the Sunday.
Well, in those days, the IBM convention was quite big, wasn't it? And the IBM convention was like over 5 days.
Yeah, it was longer. It was nearly all week. That's right, yeah.
And then it's gone, like the IBM last year was just 1 day. I think they all got, you lectured at that last year.
I did, yeah. I lectured last year. It was 1 day convention. I think it's going back to 2 this year, though.
Yeah, I always enjoy, I do enjoy the IBM convention. It's a different pace and a different sort of thing. But they're a really lovely bunch who organise that and stuff. So, but Blackpool's just become this monster, hasn't it? Monster. 4,500 people there last weekend.
Like that. Crazy, and so many dealers, 200 plus dealers.
Over 200, yeah.
It's mad. And it didn't get.
Every space now. Like the horseshoe, it was the outer horseshoe before, but you've actually got the horseshoe theatre as well now.
Exactly, in the middle.
Dealers.
And then there was some extra rooms. I don't know if you got a chance to go around the balcony where our dealer stand is. So you got the balcony around the top, and there's some rooms well, like little hidden. It was almost like secret code rooms, you know. There's like a separate door. And you're like, hang on, there's an extra door there, and you go through, and there's more dealers.
There's people in there.
Six dealers in each room.
And were the people in there?
Yeah. So that's where Hyde were, who we'll talk about in a second, who did the grinder thing that I bought, the ring grinding trick. Yeah. They were in there. There was a guy with the table. You'll see on loads of YouTube videos, a guy with a table where he was producing drinks. So he puts the silk over.
The silk, I saw that.
Yeah, and there's a Rubik's Cube chain. He was in one of those little rooms. They were quite good rooms. They were just very small, but there was a good, 6 dealers in each room. And there was 4 of them, I think, upstairs, if not more. So there was loads of, hidden little places that you didn't even know were there.
I never got around. I mean, it's just like one of those things, when you've been in this game as long as we have, trying to walk around, and you just bump into so many friends and people you know, and you start chatting, and you sort of look down at your watch, and you've been away from the stand for an hour, and you've only got halfway down the first aisle,
and you've achieved nothing other than
it's nice. It's a great thing. So, but the only time I left the stand was literally just to pop to the gentleman's room.
Yeah, I mean, I did get a chance to look around stuff. I'm sort of slightly different from you. We have a big stand. We have triple stand. So I have to have
6 staff working.
I have to have 6 staff plus me. And it sounds daft, but I have to have 3 on at all times.
Yeah.
Not just for taking the money, but watching for stuff going missing, because unfortunately it does happen.
I didn't hear of any of that.
No, we didn't either.
Which is great, touch wood. Because it's something that's crept in over the last few years. And
we have CCTV on our stand, and normally we do catch, maybe 1 or even 2 people sometimes on, making stuff. And this year we didn't have that. This year, so that was good. And did you buy anything?
I bought one thing, and like I said, I never got round, But Sven Bosch, who I've been friends with for a few years, and I've been over and sort of lectured at his shop in the Netherlands, and he's just started doing a range of cups.
Okay.
And he performed on me a cup routine on the Thursday night, I think it was, and it blew me away. I mean, I absolutely loved it, and I just thought I've got to have that to share with my audiences. I think I showed it you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away because it kind of spoils it. It's something you have to. It's a really tactile thing. It's something you have to experience for yourself. But check out on it's Bosch and Vosh.
He makes the mats and
stuff.
Yeah,
that's right. He does the mats. Yeah, premium Magic Store. So it's one of his new cups. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You?
I bought two things. I bought the ring grinder from Hyde Magic. It's called Shine or Shiner. And it's essentially a grinder, a handheld grinder, it's a gag really. You borrow somebody's ring and you put the grinder on and sparks fly off it. Right. It's an old thing. I think it's been out before. I think you mentioned. I
was thinking when we were talking about it earlier, I was thinking about the Roy Roth thing where you sort of grind it like that and you steal it out the bottom underneath. But this is just a grinder it's like gag. An angle grinder.
Yep, it's an angle grinder.
I had the wrong
just a gag. I think Dan Sylvester the Jester had one out he sold years ago. And the idea is you borrow someone's watch, phone, ring, glasses, whatever, and you pretend you borrow it and you go to polish it and it grinds the sparks off.
Any consumables in it? You have to replace anything?
You do. Yeah, there's a flint which is loaded on, and then there's a wheel which is like which you get a set of wheels to put on it to make the sparks come out. But it's good. When he dems it, I just wanted it for a gag because I do ring flight. If you know, I do ring flight. I love ring flight. I use it close up, stage, cabaret, holiday parks. I do ring flight all the time.
It's one of those tricks that you can really make a small trick just play massive.
Yeah.
One of my friends, Tracy, I don't know if you know Tracy, he's been around magic for years, and he does the holiday parks and all that kind of stuff. And I watch him do the ring flight. It's just masterful. He's just got this trick that's really small and made it into to fill a 1,200 seater sort of holiday park. So I'm guessing yours is the same, really.
Yeah, the same sort of thing, really.
And he uses the old Roy Roth again, leather wallet with a reel. Yeah.
That's exactly what I use. What he was doing when he was demonstrating on the stand was he was borrowing somebody's mobile phone, their phone, not his phone, a borrowed phone from the spectator, grinding it, sparks fly off, and he was showing the phone. It looked like it had a broken screen and the screen was glitching. Then he rubs it and the screen goes back to normal. He hands him the phone back.
Is he just loading something on top of the phone?
No, it's I don't know if I'm allowed to give it away, but it's it's a special gimmick that touches the phone and loads a temporary thing onto the phone.
Okay, that sounds
which comes with it. I mean, I won't be using it for that. No. I'll just be using it for the gag.
Well, you said you've already come up with a different way of using it.
Yeah, so I've done 4 shows since Blackpool, 4 stage shows. Just so you know, and the first show I was dying to put it in.
Was that your mum's birthday party?
It was my sister's, and so the first show I did, right? All right, thanks, fine. The first show I did ring flight just as I grabbed the ring and did the quick clean, did that. And the second show that I did, there was a kid, must be about 5-year-old, sat in the front row, and he had like a big pair, a bit like yours, like National Health glasses on, like Chris's. And I went
the plaster off,
and he took the plaster, and I went over and I just borrowed the glasses like that, and the kids couldn't really see, to be honest with you. But that was quite funny. So the adults are now laughing, and then I pretend to grind the glasses, and then just give them back, and that got a much bigger laugh than the ring.
Traumatised that poor kid for life.
So then when I did in the third one, or might have been the fourth show, is I now have a lens palmed.
This was your grandson's spot.
So now when I borrow the glasses, I angle grind it and drop the lens on the floor, and then just put it back in, give them it back. And
that's great thinking.
Just a gag. Yeah. So I bought that, and the only other thing I bought was the calculator. I can't remember what it's called, but it's iThump. With on the end. It's iThump. If you know what iThump is, it's that built into a calculator. If you don't know what iThump is, it's a thing that you see pretty much every single magician in the world do if they're doing a cabaret show.
Well, do you know what?
It's good.
I wasn't that. And I always say, I don't do cabaret and stuff. I just do close-up stuff these days. I used to do the holiday parks years ago, 20 years ago, right? But these days I just do close-up gigs. It's probably why I ain't got much work. But anyway, just kidding, fans.
Yeah.
But the one thing about that trick that's great is that everybody in the audience can get involved because they all get the calculators on the phone, and they're all doing it. So I've seen this done a few times, and everybody in that audience feels like they're involved.
So
in the show.
the thing with a trick called iThump, it's an app for an iPhone. It's not available for Android, and I'm unfortunately not successful enough to own an iPhone.
No.
You
should charge more for your 4 shows a week.
I should, instead of charging 10 quid a show, I should charge 15. But
like I do.
I'm Android through and through. I've always had an Android. So that's why I've never done the trick. So building into a calculator kind of makes sense for me. I know somebody said, I think you said, why would you have a calculator? But it kind of makes sense.
On stage.
If on stage, if you're going to say to somebody, I want you to add this 3-digit number, hang on, there's a calculator, use that. And everybody in the audience then follows along.
I did say that. And then I immediately followed it up with, because I think I said, why would you walk around with a calculator? But then I immediately followed it with, why would you walk around with a piece of rope, a pack of cards, and some sponge balls? And I think, honestly, you can pull whatever you like out of your pocket.
Yeah, it does do loads of this stuff as well. Like when they type the numbers in, you can have it on your phone as well, so you can figure out exactly what. Yeah, you can peek the numbers. There's loads. I mean, I won't use it for that. I'll probably just use it for iThumb, to be honest. And there's a reason why loads of magicians do it in the show.
Is it a big thing?
It's probably the size of that A4 bit of paper. Okay. A5. It's like a fairly big. So it's like a stage calculator. So you can hand it out and everybody can see what the numbers are. So yeah.
Well, that's it then. So that's all the Blackpool news. Anything else?
There is shows which we'll come on to in a second. So we'll talk about shows.
Okay.
Shows. What shows did you see, Chris?
I saw the state you was in Sunday morning. That was a show. I didn't get to any.
Did you not?
Nah.
Right. So as dealers, we don't tend to get. Well, we don't.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say we generally don't go and see shows.
Nah.
But because I do like stage magic and I like illusions, I do like to go and see some of the shows of Blackpool.
I love watching them as well, but I'm
just too knackered. I don't know.
I haven't got 6 people working for me.
all right. Plus, you finish the stand and you want to go and get food, don't you?
Yeah.
Rather than go and sit and watch a show. I know some dealers that fall asleep in the shows.
And that's my worry as well.
And they're like,
because I snore.
And then people take photographs and it's
Can you imagine now, you're middle of a show and you start snoring. It's not great, is it?
It's not good for business, is it?
But anyway, you went to see...
Yes, I went to see 4 shows. So first one I went to see was on the Thursday. Actually, I tell a lie, I saw 5 shows.
Okay.
Because I went to see that Evolution of Magic on the Wednesday.
Heard a lot of friends went to see that.
So that was on the Wednesday night.
Funny?
Yes, it was a pretty good show. Production fantastic. The only thing I would say about it is the opening trick didn't really work for me. Okay. So there was this huge build-up. It was like Vegas, loads of cool lights, flashing loud music. And I was like, wow, this is going to be a good show. The curtains open, you're expecting some sort of cool illusion or something.
I love this already.
And they literally just walk on. Like the music just goes dead. They just walk on.
Though? Is that the joke?
It wasn't funny though. And then the guy just like...
It sounds funny.
And then he just goes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. And I always thought Craig Christian, I always thought he was like Dutch or something, but he's from Peterborough or something, or what, I don't know. And he just
you said that, like, from Peterborough or something.
I know, sorry. I don't mean any disrespect. But anyway, they come on and they just start talking to the audience for about 5 minutes. And
That's funny.
5 or 6 minutes.
Do you think it was intentional to be funny or not?
I don't think so. We don't think it was.
So the way you're telling it, man.
Maybe I'm telling it, yeah.
It
does sound like a gag, and that's how I would do it if it was. But yeah, about 5 or 6 minutes in, they hadn't actually done a trick. And I said, the lads have said, I haven't done a trick yet. But the opening trick was he goes and sits in the audience and he brings out a bag and everyone's looking at rubbish. And he brings some, like, he goes, oh, you've had snacks. Oh, you've eaten one of them. Oh, there's nothing left. You've got a cake. And he brings a huge cake box and they've eaten the cake, as a gag. And he brings out a wrapper, a chocolate wrapper, and he shakes the chocolate wrapper and it changes into the full bar. Then he gives them the bar of chocolate. And that's the opening trick of a big, massive stage after 6 minutes. And you know the worst thing is? It wasn't even a good bloody chocolate bar. It was a Bounty.
I like Bounties.
Who eats Bounties?
I'd buy a Bounty. I like Bounties.
That's the worst one. If you're going to produce a chocolate bar, not a Bounty.
Oh, yeah. I love a Bounty.
Right. You know at Christmas when we're digressing, when you got a box of chocolates, the Bounties are always the one that's left.
Nah, not in my house, mate. I love them.
If you produce the Mars bar, maybe it would be better.
Do you know the only thing that's
Bounty?
Do you know the only thing that's better than a Bounty?
What?
A dark chocolate Bounty.
Right. Now you see.
But they've stopped making them now. Gutted.
But anyway, he produces a Bounty at the start of the show. That was the big production.
So what would your Rolls Royce of chocolate productions be?
I would be at least at least a Mars bar or a marathon. Oh no, I'm showing my age now, aren't I?
The 80s are cool, mate. They want their Snickers bar back.
So at least a Mars bar or Snickers. But anyway, the rest of the show was pretty good. Had some good bits in it. Then the second show I went to see was Jack Rhodes. So Jack Rhodes was on the Thursday night.
He's been on tour for like the last 12 months.
Brilliant show. Really enjoyed the show.
And he's more your kind of style, stand-up, funny.
Lots of like funny little gags. I mean, his gags are funny, unlike mine. Unlike mine, he was funny. But loads. And he'd obviously put a lot of effort into it, yes, because I guess he's showing the road. He wouldn't have all those magician gags in, but he had loads of like magician gags and stuff for magicians and things about Russ Stevens. And
if you've seen Jack Rhodes on tour, right, did he put any magician in jokes in there? Because I know a lot of people who are magicians who've gone to see him while he's on the road. So I wonder if he was, because you know what I mean? It's one of them things, you chuck it in, and if 4 or 5 people in the audience are magicians, they get it, and it doesn't matter if the ones who don't. So it'd be interesting. If he did, if he did put him in there, let us know, because I'd like to know that. But anyway, so
brilliant
Jack
show.
Was good,
yeah, he was good.
But you missed out.
I missed out on Hans Clock.
You gutted about that one, yeah.
Absolutely good. People were literally saying, Hans Clock, best show they've ever seen in their life, better than when their children were born, better than their wedding day. Right, and I'm like,
I find that difficult to believe.
And they were saying to me, why did you go and see Jack Rhodes? I says, because I've never seen him. I've seen Hans Clock loads of times. I thought it'd be the same sort of thing. There were like people going mental about this Hans Clock show. This is the thing, Magicbox, we have this really bad habit of going to see the wrong shows.
You always pick the wrong one.
We always do. We come out and go, that was good, and then somebody else comes along and go, mate, that's the best show I've ever seen in my life.
Split your resources then.
Because I'll still go to the wrong one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The lads will go to the right one. I'll go to the wrong one. They'll quite say you should have come to this one.
I saw photos of Hans Clock. That bloke doesn't age, does he?
Nah.
He's got a picture.
Nah, he doesn't.
He's got Dorian Gray portrait in his.
But yeah, I heard that show was fantastic.
So that was your regret at Blackpool. Then,
that was my biggest regret, not seeing Hans Clock. And I love Illusions as well.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd seen him before. I'd heard great things about Jack Rhodes. I know Jack, known him for a long time. And I thought I'd go and see his. And I heard great things about his show last year. He only did half the show last year, whereas this time he did the full. The full length, the full girth.
I get why you went.
He said it's his gag, not mine.
Yeah. Okay.
And then third show.
Gala show.
I went to see the Gala show on the Friday night, which was hosted by Max Fulham. Great compere, really
Never
good.
Seen him. I've heard really great
guy.
things. Yeah.
Very, very funny, very witty.
Was he? Because he's known as being an event.
Yep.
Matt Pryor. Was he using puppets in the comparing?
Yeah. So he's using puppets. He used anything a bin. There was a waste paper bin.
Talking bin.
Yeah, so he's doing with a bin. He'll just do.
Great.
So it was good, really good. Some great acts in there. The standout one for me was probably Solange, which was the quick change. And this is a funny thing, and I'm sure people might agree or disagree with this. Who is Solange's husband or boyfriend who used to be with us, still is? Because we booked him a few years ago for South Tyneside, and she was kind of like the extra act that we got free. Right. So he was booked as the act. Yeah. She came along, and he's kind of like, can my wife come? And she'll do a little bit of that. And she did some minips, and she was really good.
And now she's the
headline, and nobody remembers who he is.
Is it Kevin?
Kevin from Birmingham or something? I don't know.
Birmingham.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know who it is, but that's the thing.
Birmingham.
And that kind of all right. Birmingham. But yeah, she's like.
So she was good.
Yeah, nobody remembers who he is now. So
I've never heard of either of them.
So. Point. Then we saw the one show, which was on the Saturday night.
This
competition.
Was a competition.
Yeah,
£30,000
top prize.
And was it an anything competition, or was it a close-up competition?
Stage.
Last year it was a close-up competition, right?
So you can do anything. So in previous years, some people will do close-up with the camera, some people will do illusions, some people will do whatever you want to do on
last
stage.
Year was the first one, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was being built.
It was meant to be judged by Chris Angel, but obviously he wasn't there. Rick Thomas, I believe, was one of the judges as well as some others. And it was a great show. If any criticisms, it was a little bit samey, as in there was no like big punchy act with loud music, like Solange, for instance, in the Gala show. Yeah. Lots of dance music, lots of fast change stuff. It was very like arty, fizzy, Cirque du Soleil. That's true.
It's not a show.
Yeah, it's not a show. So it's hard to have picks and troughs.
The close-up competition at the local Magic Club on that, right? So
it's very similar to Fizz on that.
So absolutely. But no, but what I was going to say was, so I'm first on, right, and I do a card to box. Right.
Okay.
And then the next person walks on and puts a box down on the table. So we got a little chuckle. The third person walks on box, and I think everybody except for one person had a card to box. So unless you vet the act, if it's a competition, it's a competition, right? It's not like putting a show together.
Yeah, it's true.
So I know what you said, but
you're all vetted. But I did feel like it lacked like a punchy,
and the
music-y sort of thing.
Act was who?
Lorenz something. I'm sure somebody will write in the comments. It was the guy with the boxes. He had like boxes, and the boxes floated, and he balanced them, and there was like a handkerchief which jumped around. No, like boxes, Amazon boxes, because they fell from the ceiling.
No.
Remembering more about it now. His boxes fell from the ceiling, then he piles them up, and they're balanced, and he does this, and you assume it's done one way, and then it's not, because he disproves that.
Was it all done to music?
Yeah. But it was brilliant, and I think that was even before we knew the results. I think most people said he should have won, and he won.
Cool.
And that was it. We didn't get to see the Sunday night gala show because we drove home. And that's my favourite bit about Blackpool is
the shows.
No, the M6 on the way home from Blackpool.
I'm counting your money.
4 days in Blackpool's long enough, though. 4 nights Blackpool.
It's we were lucky with the weather this year. To be fair. The weather was okay.
Yeah, we had rain a couple of times. Anyway, we're digressing now.
We can, yeah. But it was good. It was a great convention. So
I think it's the best one ever. Best one we've had.
Well done to all the organisers. Fantastic job.
Yeah.
So that was the news for this week. So this is the news then. How about that promo? Do you like that? We almost,
I like that.
We look respectable.
Semi-professional. Did you do all that yourself? No AI, nothing like that?
Yeah, I animated it all myself.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
Thought you did.
And I hand drew the cartoons. That's why I don't look like Rolf Harris, and you don't look like Rod Stewart.
I still don't know who I look like, but anyway, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Okay.
Right.
So old school then. So
yes.
we're gonna revitalise. And now I've never seen this performed before. Okay, so this is old school for me as well. So this is a Magicbox product.
Yes, just getting the brand in. Magicbox product. Now there won't always be Magicbox products in the old school bit, but this one is. And this dates back, I reckon, 15 years probably. If you haven't seen it, it's called Paper Cut by Tony Parks. We bought the rights and we produced this a long time ago. It's been re-released a couple of times, but it's a very old trick now. It's quite good for camera actually. You'll see why in a second. It's quite a visual thing. So you bring out a pack of cards. You can do this during a routine, after a routine, in the middle of a routine, because there's only one gimmick that you need to add. So you have someone select a card like this. Mm-hmm. Have them look at it, remember it. If they want to, they can sign the card.
Signed as well,
if you want to. It doesn't matter if I see the card. It's not that sort of trick. Oh, it's a good card, that. The ace, bullet. The big boy, the ace of spades. When magicians do card tricks, it's not particularly dangerous, is it? It's not a dangerous thing. It's not like
unless you go paper cut.
Paper cut.
See what we did there.
Unless you get a paper cut. And magicians, when we perform, we do get paper cuts with cards. I'll show you what I mean with your ace look. If I take it like this and I can just do that, you might be able to see on the camera there. Can you see the little...
Yeah.
It's probably better if I do it on camera so they can see a little bit better. If I push it right in, you might be able to see that on the camera a little bit more as it goes right into the finger like that. It's not a great angle for Chris, but you can see it goes all the way in the finger. Of course, it's just an illusion, just a trick. It doesn't really happen. If you take the card, you can see there's nothing wrong with the card and the finger's okay. It's got no cuts, no blood, no breaks, and you don't get the finger with the trick.
Oh, no.
You don't get the gaff finger. And that's it, basically. It's a quick little throwaway thing that you just sort of do as a quick shock piece, I guess.
That's great. I've not seen that before. I really like that.
And it's a good little throwaway thing. It's not expensive. Like I say, it's very easy to bring the gimmick in and out. It's essentially, if you know cigarette through card,
yes,
it's the same thing as that. It's a cigarette through card gimmick, essentially, but, the same mechanics.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Exactly.
And how much is that?
The finger. 15. So 15 quid.
It's an no-brainer, right? And also, with them, things like this, and I'm assuming this is the same, and yes, it is. You can also use it as a thick card to control and stuff like that. So you get an added bonus with that.
Yeah.
So that's something that's you can have it sitting in the pack and use it for two different things. Mm-hmm. And then you've always got the, so you can have the cards and you can have them shuffled and everything else, and you can always easily find it because it's a card,
ready to go.
Or use it to control cards. Excellent. I really like that.
One of the things we did get asked about, actually, maybe now we could quickly talk about it, is bringing the gimmick in and out.
So we've sort of we're opening up for questions and stuff, and that was a question. So we sort of we're bleeding across a bit, but it doesn't matter. So one of the questions that we were asked was, how do you ring in a gaff in and out? So how would you ring that in?
So with this, what I generally do is, if I'm doing whatever other routine I'm doing, I'll generally have it in my top pocket of my shirt here. And while they're selecting the card, as I turn around, I'll just slide that out on top of the pack. Now, I'll do that with various different gimmicks, whether if I'm doing that or a cigarette through card or any other things where I need to add 1 or even 2 cards to the top. Might even be a double back or double face or whatever. I'll just do it as I turn around. You can even do it without turning around. You know, as you're talking, you can just reach up, put your thumb on there and just slide it out the top pocket.
And that's the thing.
Load it on top of the
when you're doing gigs, you can get away with stuff
All
that
sorts.
people wouldn't believe that you can get away with. Now, the guy who's asked that question, I do know goes out and performs a lot. Ben LePage, he's a guy in the Channel Islands, and I know he goes out and performs and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's got his own way. And now another way of doing it, if you're, for example, there's a lot of hobbyists who are probably going to watch these people who don't go out and perform, you know, like you haven't got now when they're performing, they're not wearing a shirt or a jacket or whatever. How would you do it then? So personally speaking, I would start with it in the deck. And then when you're finished with it, I would just, I would have 1 joker in the deck and then just say, we don't need the jokers, I'll get rid of them and just stick the gimmick and the joker in your pocket and then you're left with a straight deck. That would be a way of ringing it out. And I would start with it in. Thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the obvious way to do it is to have the gimmick in there already.
To start with,
I think another way to bring it in is literally just have it in the side pocket. So you can have a side pocket here. You could even bring it in as you're putting the box away. So imagine you've got this in this side and the box in this side. And what you could do potentially is you bring the box, the deck out like this. Then as you go to put the box in, you just bring the cards out and just grab it like that. Again, in a working situation, that's just like as if you're like sort of looking for where to put the thing. Do you know what I mean? So you dip in and then grab it and then put the box in.
You can get away. You can get away with murder. I mean, just walking around the back of someone. You know, and your hands go out of you for a second and stuff like that. So there you go. That's old school for this week. That is paper cut. So over to you. This is where we've sort of handed over to our viewers to ask us some questions and stuff.
Question time.
So this is the first show, as you know, and I was private messaged a couple of questions from Derek Oliver, who's a guy I know from the London area. So thanks, Derek. So the first question is, how do we feel that Magic has been affected by exposure on social media?
Okay.
So I'm going to let you go first.
It's not good. Anyway, so over to you. No, so yes, I think ultimately for me, I don't think it's a good thing. I think there is some stuff you can get away with. But for me, I feel like there's a lot of stars of Magic or people who are well known in the Magic industry who are literally just using it to make money from. I'm not going to name names, but there's some magicians out there who they haven't obviously, for me, it's like a cheat code. It's just an easy way of getting views and getting easy viewings and making easy money from it rather than coming up with really cool, innovative ideas of things to do just by exposing Magic. And it's always going to be there, unfortunately. It's always going to happen. And I don't think there's any way that you can get around it, but I don't like the idea of people who generate their income from just exposing stuff.
Oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I'll tell you what I hate the most is these videos where you've got the magician's point of view, right? And it's making out that the person who's watching it from the other side is completely stupid, right? And also the thing that really winds me up, and I've commented on quite a few of these posts, really unloading on people, is they're not. If they created these tricks and went on social media and gave them away, I don't care. You've invented that. That's up to you. You go do what you like with it, right?
Yeah.
But they're not. They're giving away other people's inventions. They're giving away other people's things that they do for their bread and butter. For example, the other day, there's an effect that I love. I've never performed it, but I've loved it since I first saw it published 20-odd years ago by Mike Kaminskas, who's a lovely American magician that I know. And it's his trick with the sweets. Have you seen it? So he basically tears the corner off a packet of M&Ms, for example. Right. He tips them into the spectator's hand, and then he gets the corner and he reseals it, and you hand the sweets out, and the packet's examinable. Yep. Beautiful. It's fantastic. And I saw a video on social media where there's somebody with a camera over the shoulder completely exposing it and giving it away. That's got to be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the start, it generally is a bad thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate in a second, though. The worst one for me is the one, I don't know what his name is, and I hate him. Like, he's just got a face you want to punch as well. And you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's one where there's a video of a guy doing a trick, and his little face is at the bottom right-hand corner.
No, they're all terrible,
and I'm not sure if he's Italian, maybe, and he's got this face where he goes... and then he goes and stops the footage, and then he like goes and explains how it's done. He looks, and it's the smugness.
And this is,
and I'm just like,
the thing. Now I've been called out on. I've made a few comments, right? That
it's not like you.
I try to stay out of stuff on social media as much as possible, right? But I've put a few comments like saying, why don't you go and invent some tricks and la la la? And people have come back at me and said, well, you know what? It's not exposing anything because the only people who see this are the people who are interested in magic. And I'm sure that's what you were going to offer as a caveat in a minute, maybe. But here's the thing, right? You don't know that because people who are potentially going to book a magician, right, in their search engines and in their cookies and everything else, magic, magician, and etc., they're looking for a performer, and all of a sudden they're seeing some smart arse looking guy going, make it. No, I think it's bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
The sort of worst ones for me are the ones where, like you said, are exposing tricks that a lot of people do. So I get this all the time. When I'm performing, I'll have people Google while I'm at the table
what you've done.
Yeah, like, and some stuff you can't really get around. Like, for instance, coin and bottle. Yeah, it's a good example because you can find out how you'll find a video, hundreds of videos up by searching for. A magician put a coin in a bottle, so it's hard for you to get round that issue. Whereas a trick where they're trying to explain what happened in AI, sometimes difficult. But if it's an obvious trick like a coin in a bottle,
or card in wallet, or wherever they're after one particular thing,
or double cross, cross from hand, magicians cross on hand. Will come up with loads of videos showing you how it works.
Do you know what? I've got to say, if we leave our audiences laughing and enjoying themselves and all the rest of it, so they put the phone down and forget, I think you're going to get less of that anyway. And I absolutely agree with you. The mobile phones at gigs are one of the worst things ever because walk up to a table and there's a guy now watching a football match on his phone while he's eating his dinner, and you've got to try and get his attention because he's watching Wolves get beat again or wherever it might be, right? So I mean that's I hate it. I think social media I think ultimately will affect magic.
It already does. I mean, it already does. It affects it massively. For me, what I was going to say, playing devil's advocate, is some of the videos which are made and the method is invented just for exposure. For instance, Sol McKenzie and Matt Franco. So if you see some of their stuff, Matt Franco does some stuff where he's got someone hidden behind it.
I have seen some
a kitchen unit, for instance. And he puts a paper bag on, and he shows the bag empty, and then he reaches in his hand comes up, loads it in, and puts it in. That's okay. And then usually what they then do on top of that is they then vanish the thing. So
that's good.
And that works. It's a bit like the old Penn and Teller thing for me. Penn and Teller were doing it years ago. They do expose it, but then they still fool you after they expose it.
And I think the type of videos
doable
that we're talking about here,
it's just general exposure.
They're exposing things that people use in their acts very often, other people's stuff, and they're doing it, as you said earlier, just for likes and stuff. So I think ultimately, maybe some people who are interested in magic will be attracted by that and then they'll find their way into magic. But I think, it's going to turn a lot of people off as well. People who are potentially thinking of booking a magician will see these videos and go, oh, is that all, is that what it is?
And there's a lot to be said for not just social media, but also for the exposure as well as calling a trick something that's got nothing to do. And we've discussed this before. When you have a trick that's called coin in bottle, it's so easy to find. But if that was called tornado bottle, which I know is another trick, by the way, but I'm just using that as an example, then people aren't going to be able to find it. Do you know what I mean?
But 10 minutes after it's released, it's going to be ripped off somewhere.
But it's a shame that we have to do that now, that we have to think about what we're going to call the trick so that people can't Google search
Sign of the times, mate. I remember the first time, Sean Carpenter, I don't know if you know Sean, he's a magician in the Midlands, and I remember him saying to me 20 odd years ago, and it was when smartphones were just coming out, and somebody Googled Crazy Man's Handcuffs while he was there, and said, look, this is how you've done it. In fact, I don't even think it was on his phone. I think he was doing a gig. That's right. He was doing a gig at an office. So this is pre-internet phones, and he went on the internet in the office and found it. So, I mean, if the technology's there, they're going to do it.
I think also if somebody really wants to know how the trick's done,
they'll find out.
They'll find out.
These days you can.
A lot of people just like magic for what it is, as most of us do. But if somebody really has to know how that trick's done,
they'll find it. Yeah.
They're going to find it.
But this is a different story altogether from social media. So that's our opinions. Feel free to let us know your opinions. I'm sure they're different to ours, or hopefully not.
Hate it.
I'm not a fan either. What was the other question he asked us? Oh, conventions.
Yes.
Are we being conventioned out? Is what Derek put. So here's the thing, right? 4 or 5 years ago, there was only probably 3 or 4 conventions a year, wasn't there? And then all of a sudden, and I'm guilty of this, I organise a convention in the Midlands.
Yeah.
I've got the 3rd year coming up.
Brilliant
next
convention.
month. Thank you.
I'll be there.
The 3 C's, Triple C. Can't tell you what it stands for. You have to be there. You know what it stands for, don't you?
I know what it stands for, yeah.
And it's not Chris Congreve's convention. But before that, so you had like, so Blackpool, obviously.
Yeah.
The IBM we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And then you've got the North East convention, the South Shields.
Well, I would say South Tyneside's young in comparison to that, because South Tyneside's only been going 21 years.
Yeah.
So I would say that's quite young.
I'm going back to like 4 or 5 years ago. There was probably only about 4 or 5 conventions.
There was the Northern.
So there was the Northern one, and then you had a few days. So like you had the Jumbo Day in Portsmouth, the Bristol Day for many years.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, they're springing up, aren't they? So mine started, and then Hull did one last year. Alakazam have got their first convention this year. But I love these small conventions. I think it's a great thing.
I don't think there can be too many. For me, I don't think getting conventioned out. I think it's a good thing. Plus, I think obviously everybody compares to Blackpool, but Blackpool is so big. The smaller ones are so nice that you get to talk to people and see stuff. And
well, that's where I think I went to. So Wayne Goodman puts one on as well called the Shindig. In Newmarket, and I went last year
doing that one as well. Yeah, this year.
It's fab. It was great because it's in a small town, right, with about 5 or 6 different pubs and restaurants and stuff. And it's like my convention in Cannock, we all stay in the same hotel.
Yeah.
And we all eat and drink in the same place. There's about 100 people there. The people who are lecturing are there. The people who've got dealers tables are there. The people who are attending are there. And everybody, by the end of that weekend, everybody leaves as friends.
Yeah.
And you don't get that at Blackpool. You get in with a small clique of people. And unless you're a bit of a butterfly like I am, I just sort of float around chatting to everybody, you stay in that clique and you don't move.
100%. I mean, even for us as dealers, I tend to hang out with the people who are on our stand. It's staff. We all go for food together. We go and see the show together. We go to the barn. Yes, we do intermingle with other people, but generally together.
Yeah.
But on the smaller ones, you're 100% right. But it's not only just the fact of who you're mingling with. For me, it's also about having an event near where you are.
Yeah.
So because there's so many different ones, you're bound to find something that's near you. Therefore, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So you don't have to stay over.
Yeah, but this is why so my first convention that I put on almost 3 years ago, I was really disappointed that a lot of the people from the Midlands didn't come
from the local.
And people came from different areas. And I felt a little bit let down by some of the local people, I'll be perfectly honest. However, I now realise it was a good thing. Because all those people, if everybody locally had come along,
they all
would have gone home.
Yeah.
And we would have lost that thing where we're all sort of jamming and staying on the night and stuff. So I don't think we are. Personally, I'm not.
Yeah, there's some great little
Magic Circle have got one, a little one-day convention as well.
The Leeds one, Leeds Magic
Jam. Yeah, there's loads.
which I do.
Didn't do it last year, but the Merlin's Day is great. We did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we both lectured.
That's a great day as well. So no, I think they're brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. Fantastic. And then obviously we have South Tyneside in October, and they all tend to be spaced out as well. The ideal thing is that you try not to have the same convention or the same one on the same weekend. You try and space them out. It does happen. But
we've landed this yeyear, so mine and Chris crosses are on the same weekend.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate because I was talking to Chris. And I was like, Chris, I'd already booked all the acts, and I was like, Chris, I'm doing this weekend. He's like, it's my birthday the following week. He says, like, I'm going to have that weekend as well. Because we have it in April, and we try and avoid Easter.
Yeah.
Because obviously the kids are away and all the rest of it. So, unfortunately, this year we are clashing, but we do try and avoid each other.
Well, I think everybody does that, but, sometimes it's unavoidable, which is fair enough. But so there's always different things happening all the way through the year that you can get to, and hopefully there'll be something near where you are as well.
Yeah. That's what makes it good. Get supporting those small conventions.
I would absolutely,
especially mine.
Yeah, especially yours. And South Tyneside.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's with 2 questions. We'll have more questions every show. Send the questions in. We have got it already
send
if you answer.
We've got a few, but send them. And also respond to the answers that we've just given because, we chat about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on.
So welcome to the review
section.
Show. Because this has been a long show already, we're just going to review one item this week, and it is Tech Deck.
Tech Deck
by Mr. Craig Petty. And been released by Penguin Magic. So
their stuff's always, boxes and stuff's always really nice, by the way.
Yeah,
the packaging's always really good from Penguin. However, would you rather pay 20 quid less and not have the packaging?
I don't know. I know what you're saying.
There is an argument there.
I think I do like a good bit of packaging, I have to say. So at my stand at Blackpool this year, there was a guy standing there chatting to me for ages, and people came and went while we were chatting away, and nobody had a clue who it was. And I said to him at one point, every close-up magician around this table needs to thank this man, and that man was Martin Sanderson. Martin Sanderson, what a fabulous magician, what a nice guy. Martin, if you're not aware, is the person who made putting an Omni deck into a spectator's hand the cool thing
to do.
Thing that it is today.
Does.
Right?
Yeah.
Every close-up magician does it. It's a guarantee. If you're dying on your arse at a table, you do that, and you're going to get a good reaction, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So Martin put this out on a DVD a few years ago, a corporate close-up. And ever since then, magicians have been doing different things and different ways of doing it and stuff. And this is essentially that. Okay, so this is an ending to a card routine where you switch a pack of cards that have been in play for something else. Okay, I know we're not supposed to be exposed too much, but I think it's pretty obvious what this is.
Yeah, right? I think we need to show what it is.
So Dave Forrest a few years ago did something very, very similar.
I didn't know this.
And I can't remember what Dave's was called, but each of them was handmade with cards where he glued the pack together, he cut it all out, and he put some LEDs and everything else in. And this has been mass produced, and they've done a great job. This is something that I would absolutely use.
Yeah.
So what it looks like is basically this is in the spectator's hand, and then you get them to lift the hand up, and they cut the deck, and they can only cut there, and you've got this. It's a great thing. It looks brilliant. It looks funny. It's unexpected. It's like wow, what a great reaction. What a great ending really to a routine.
Yeah. So I think I've watched the full tutorial, but on the demo,
7 hours long, is it?
Craig Petty probably 8, and that's just discussing what the gimmick is, probably. I think on the demo, Craig does the whole thing. He says, "You know how it works, don't you? It's a technology deck." Then he gives them the pack, and they'll do this, and obviously it's all electronic as the gag. But I think it's really, really good. It's very, very well made. There's lots of different ways to present it in the tutorial. I mean, as you said, you could literally do it like an Omni deck at the end, and then you open the hand.
I never have them cover the deck. Cover the Omni deck. Now, have I not told you this before?
I think you have. Yeah. I know. Gary.
Gary, yeah.
Gary loves doing that. Doesn't he? He literally walks away, doesn't he? It's just in the hand like that.
Have I not told you the story about the Indian restaurant that time with Gary doing that?
You probably have.
Shall I do it on here?
Yeah.
So one night, me and Gary, we were filming some DVDs with Owen Packard, right? So this is like years and years and years ago. Long story short, Gary, he's got the Omni deck loaded into the guy's hand. He's took the card off the top, so there's no cover there. And the guy's phone, he's the manager of the restaurant, his phone starts ringing. So he walks off, answers the phone, has a 5-minute conversation on the phone, puts the phone down, comes back, still hasn't realised, and then Gary says, "I'm going to make the pack vanish," and he's like, "Oh, I like this," you know. So the misdirection was so good that he got this Omnideck for 5 minutes before he knew what was going on. But yeah, I would love to go out and road test this at a gig actually and see what the reactions are like.
Yeah.
But it's really well made. If this is something that appeals to you, replacing your Omnideck, and also, and I don't know whether Craig talks about this as well, but the old Paul Harris solid deception routine, you could probably do that with it as well. So for me, that's great. That's definitely going to get used. It's well made. I would give that sort of 98%. I would definitely use it.
I would as well. Do I think it's good? Yes. Would I use it? Yes, 100%.
Can't say better than that, can you? Really? Yeah, nice one. Well done, Craig.
Excellent. Right, well, that's us for this week. That's the end of our little videos. The first one.
Oh, we've got the first one out of the way.
Yeah,
how'd you feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Good, I enjoyed it. It's good chat
it.
and lots of little stories and stuff that come out there and some cool little interesting things.
And some that will never make the internet.
Yes.
Over a beer, maybe.
But stay tuned for next time.
Yeah.
There'll be more funny little stories and funny little things.
Send us some questions in. Send us some stories in. Now, one of the suggestions we had as well, we forgot to mention earlier, is roving reporter. If you're at an event, a magic event, or you've got something at a gig that you want to share with us, just send us a little video in there of a minute or so, and we hopefully we can use it. And we're going to be sending emails to... Email address.
To us.
Yeah.
We'll be sending emails to info@magicbox.uk.com.
Okay. And then if you just you'll forward them on to me as well, or via social media.
And we'll also check the comments and stuff on all the social platforms for comments and questions and stuff like that, and we'll use some in the next few shows.
Fantastic. So from us this week, thank you very much, and catch you next week.